You want to change? You want to be somebody? Then stop being a victim. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, you are the only one holding yourself back. You, nobody else. It's easy to point fingers. It's easy to sit back and blame your circumstances, your upbringing, or the people around you. We've all been there. We've all had those moments where we feel like the world's against us. Like life is unfair. Like nobody understands what we're going through. But guess what? The world doesn't care about your excuses. You want to know the truth? Nobody's coming to save you. No one. You think someone out there is going to reach down and pull you out of the mess you're in? Wrong. It's time to wake up and realize that you are the only one who can change your life. Only you. You're the one that's responsible for everything that happens to you. Every single thing. The moment you realize this is the moment everything changes. You stop blaming others. You stop pointing fingers. You stop making excuses for why you can't be great. You take ownership. You take control. It doesn't matter what your circumstances are. It doesn't matter how tough your past has been. It doesn't matter what hand you've been dealt. Stop playing the victim and realize that you have the power to change your future. That's right, your future. It's in your hands, not anyone else's. You've got to take full accountability for where you are right now. I don't care how much pain you're in. I don't care how much you suffered. You've got to own that. You've got to say, yeah, this is on me. This is my fault. But that's not the end of the story. It's just the beginning. Once you accept that, you have the power to turn everything around. It's all on you to move forward. The excuses you've been making, let them go. The reasons you think you can't do it, they don't matter. It doesn't matter. It's time to stop playing small. Time to stop telling yourself, I can't do this. I'm not good enough. I wasn't born with the right skills. That's the coward's mentality. That's the mindset of someone who has given up on themselves before they even started. You know who you're fooling when you talk like that? Only yourself. Life doesn't care about your excuses. The world doesn't care if you're tired, if you're hurting, if you're struggling. It doesn't care. So why should you? Why should you keep letting yourself get away with being mediocre? Why should you keep letting yourself believe that you can't be more, do more, have more? That's a lie. A lie you've been telling yourself to keep you comfortable. But comfort doesn't lead to growth. Comfort doesn't lead to greatness. Hard work, pain, sacrifice. That's what leads to greatness. You want to be a champion? Then act like one. No more excuses. No more saying, I'll do it tomorrow. No more waiting for the perfect moment. That moment doesn't exist. It's time to get out there and start taking massive action right now. It's time to quit complaining. Quit feeling sorry for yourself. Quit waiting for someone else to make it happen for you. Because newsflash, the world doesn't care if you're struggling. It's not going to stop and wait for you to catch up. No, the world's moving forward, whether you're ready or not. And if you're not ready, if you're still stuck in your victim mindset, it will leave you behind. This isn't just about working harder. It's about working smarter. It's about taking ownership of every single decision you make and understanding that every choice has consequences. Every choice matters. Every day matters. You can't waste time thinking you have all the time in the world. You don't. You can't keep waiting for a break. You can't keep waiting for someone to recognize your potential. You have to earn it. You have to show up every single day and put in the work. And when it gets hard, and believe me, it will get hard, you can't quit. You can't give in. You can't let up. This is your life. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to sit back and keep blaming your circumstances? Or are you going to take control and do something with it? Every day you waste, every second you spend feeling sorry for yourself is a day you're never getting back. It's gone. And all those excuses, they don't matter anymore. People don't care. Your friends don't care. Your family doesn't care. The world doesn't care. So why are you still caring about your excuses? Why are you still feeding yourself that lie that you can't make it because of where you came from, because of what happened to you in the past? That's all it is. A lie. The truth is, you have everything you need right now to succeed. You just have to stop sitting on your ass, stop waiting for the right time, and stop being a victim of your own story. You have to stop allowing your past to dictate your future. You have to take control. Now. It's time to level up. It's time to push past the pain, the doubt, the fear. It's time to stop waiting for someone to come rescue you. You're the one who has to do the work. You're the one who has to dig deep and find the strength to keep going when everything in you is telling you to quit. It's time to make a decision. Are you going to let life continue to kick you around, or are you going to stand up and fight for the life you deserve? The choice is yours. But understand this, once you make that decision, you better follow through. There's no going back. No more excuses. No more playing the victim. From now on, you own your life. You own your future. The time to start is now. Not tomorrow, not next week. Right now, get to work. Failure. Failure is the thing that everyone runs from. Everyone tries to avoid it. They see it as this big, ugly monster that's going to eat them alive. But I'm here to tell you, failure is the reason you're going to succeed. Failure is the reason you're going to grow. I don't want to hear this weak shit about how you failed once and now you're scared to try again. That's the kind of thinking that keeps you stuck in your comfortable little bubble. It's easy. It's safe. But that's not where growth happens. Growth happens in the uncomfortable places, the places where you failed so many times you start to question yourself. But instead of quitting, you keep pushing. You start to see it differently. You start to realize that failure isn't a wall. It's a doorway that opens up to a whole new level of you. But that shit doesn't happen overnight. You want success? You want to win? You're going to need to fail. A lot. Listen to me. It's not about how many times you fail. It's about how many times you get back up. You got to be willing to fall flat on your face and get back up. Not once, not twice, but 1,000 times. And each time, you need to learn something. Every failure, every single moment where you think you can't go on is the moment you're supposed to take a step back, evaluate, and then go harder. If you're not failing, you're not pushing hard enough. Some people go their whole lives and never fail. They go through the motions. They don't take risks. They don't push themselves. And they're stuck in the same place doing the same shit every day. They've convinced themselves that if they stay comfortable, they'll be okay. But what they don't realize is that being comfortable is the worst thing you can do. Comfort breeds mediocrity. Comfort breeds complacency. Comfort is a death sentence. You think you're living life? Nah, you're just getting by. So you've got to fail. You've got to fail big. And when you fail, I want you to look that failure in the face and say, is that all you got? You better come harder than that. Because failure is not the end. Failure is just a part of the process. It's a lesson. It's a test. It's a trial to see if you're really serious, to see if you're really committed, to see if you really want it. And if you're not willing to fail, if you're not willing to put in the work, then you don't want it bad enough. It's that simple. I've failed more times than most people can even imagine. I've hit rock bottom. I've been down so low that I thought I'd never get back up. But every single time, I got up. Because that's what winners do. They fail, they get up, and they keep pushing forward. And you know what? Every failure taught me something valuable. Every time I fell down, I learned how to get back up a little faster. Every time I failed, I found a way to be better the next time. And it's that process that transforms you. It's that relentless pursuit of becoming better, stronger, faster, smarter that separates the winners from the losers. If you're not willing to go through pain, if you're not willing to suffer, if you're not willing to fail, then you have no business being in this game. I see people every day who are too scared to fail. They're so afraid of looking stupid, so afraid of what people will think that they don't even try. They don't push. They don't go after their goals with everything they've got. And that's why they stay stuck. That's why they never break through. Because they're scared of failure. But I'll tell you something. Fear of failure is the greatest lie you can tell yourself. Fear of failure keeps you from seeing the truth. It keeps you from seeing that failure is actually the path to success. It's the lesson you need to learn. You need to fail. You need to get uncomfortable. You need to push yourself beyond what you think is possible. You need to get to the point where you're failing so much that it becomes second nature to you. You need to get to the point where failure doesn't scare you anymore. Because the moment you stop fearing failure, that's the moment you're going to start winning. The people who are successful, the people who make it, the people who rise to the top, they've failed more times than you can count. They've fallen flat on their faces, been knocked down, been told they weren't good enough, been laughed at, but they didn't quit. They didn't stop. They didn't let failure define them, and that's why they're successful. Because they used failure as fuel. They used it to get stronger, to get better, to sharpen their mind, their body, their will. They used failure as their weapon. And you can too. But first, you've got to stop being afraid of it. Stop running from failure. Stop making excuses. Stop pretending like everything's going to be perfect. Because newsflash, it's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be easy. But that's the beauty of it. The struggle is what makes you strong. The pain is what builds your character. The failures are what make you who you are. So next time you fail, don't get discouraged. Don't get defeated. Don't let it take you down. Use it as a sign that you're doing something right. Use it as proof that you're pushing your limits. And when you get knocked down, I want you to remember this. You're not done. You're not out. You're just getting started. Because failure is just a step, a necessary step, a step that will lead you to greatness. You just have to keep moving. And if you keep moving long enough, you'll realize something. Failure isn't failure anymore. It's just part of the process. It's part of the journey. So go ahead. Fail. Fail big. Fail over and over again. But whatever you do, don't stop. Don't quit. Because the people who quit are the ones who never get to see what's on the other side of failure. The ones who keep going are the ones who rise to the top. And that's where you belong. You belong at the top. But to get there, you're going to have to fail. And you're going to have to fail hard. But if you can keep going, if you can keep pushing, if you can keep fighting, you're going to win.